What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Brass Ring Media Podcast for Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Great to have you here with us. I'm Zach Hadorn, your host. That is Tyler Sage. He's your other host. Tyler, what's up, man?
Hey, good to be here. Good to be chatting some wrestling with you and everybody else.
It is a busy weekend in wrestling. SummerSlam is on the horizon. If you guys missed our Tuesday show, we previewed the entire show, all of SummerSlam, both nights is up there. You can catch that now earlier on the feed. So we're not going to talk much SummerSlam today, if any, because it is already all there for you on Tuesday's episode. So again, subscribe to the channel so you can check that out, but also subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can take it with you on the road and to the gym or to the grocery store or wherever you go. You can bring it with us. But we did a full almost 90 minutes on SummerSlam earlier this week. Tyler, today, man, I want to talk AEW Dynamite because there was a lot I liked about that show last night. And I was in the building, so I can give like an in-building perspective.
I was looking for it.
There's also some things that I was just like, oh God, what is happening right now? Like, is that kind of, I think that's a good way to sum up AEW right now. I think that there's some really good stuff happening and some stuff where I'm just like, what on earth is going on?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty fair. But I think your like, what is going on is more my apathy for. I think it's interesting difference where, I mean, I don't know if I could feel more like flipped on the companies. Like I'm like into like Dom and like Judgment Day and like El Grande Americano and like Solo Sikoa being a clown, stuff like that, as opposed to like John Cena and Cody Rhodes, or Roman versus Braun and Braun. And vice versa, like all the big stuff, I'm pretty much digging in AEW, and then a lot of the like tertiary stuff, I think, is pretty questionable. So,
yeah, and that's where I'm at. Like last night, I thought the world title match. We'll spend more time talking about this, but I thought the world title match was awesome. I thought it was a really good match. I thought I wasn't sure like what the reaction would be like outside of being there because like. How much did the stipulation really matter? Like, I feel like if you're watching on TV, maybe that impacts your enjoyment of it. But when you're right there in it with 900 people, like it doesn't. But I don't know. I still think that like that it did its job of reinforcing that Adam Page is the man and Jon Moxley isn't anymore. And he gets to go on and do something with Darby Allin now. But like it's Page's show. So, and I think like this residency in Chicago has almost been like about that, just like reinforcing that fact. The thing is, I think that's AEW hasn't always had that, where it's like this is the most important thing that's happening, and it's our biggest star, and he's the world champion. Like that helps out so much. And there's other things that we're going to talk about today that I'm not as high on, of course, but the top, I think that's humming along nicely with Adam Page right now.
Yes. I mean, the focus of the entire booking of the company has been he's our champion. He's the focal point of every show. You know, the Austin treatment, the Roman on SmackDown treatment, examples of good champions. And Adam Page has now, as of now, 2 title runs that are case studies in the right way and the wrong way to book a champion thus far.
Very true. I would give props to Jon Moxley. I thought he was awesome in that match last night. I thought he was just again, being there. So the totally different way to watch it. But he was like intense. He was vicious. He had like fully ready to sell for Page and to get heat from the crowd, and which he got. Like, you know, like he wasn't playing like cool heel guy. So I don't think you've seen that from Mox. Even in the big title match at All In, I don't think he had the same veracity as he had last night. I thought he was really good last night, and he's not going to be in the title picture anymore. He shouldn't be in the title picture anymore. But I still think he's going to be a key in the show, at least for a little while.
Do you still think that was his last run at the top?
I kind of do, yeah.
In his career or his AEW career. I guess is that a better way to phrase that?
His AEW career. I can't say never for a WWE title run. With 2 world titles there, like I don't know, just can't. I mean, CM Punk might win the title this weekend. It's like, so I can't say that, but I do think it's kind of his last AEW world title run. I think. Yeah.
So I do too. Which feels like that. Yeah.
Okay.
He's got 4, which is a lot. Doubles anyone that can be mentioned by the company.
Yeah. So, doubles. That's right. Yeah.
So pretty crazy. No, I agree 100%. I thought he was really good. I like that they both agreed to do about 37 pile drivers to each other and like escalate the amount of like cringy, not of like, oh, that was actually his head level of those moves there. So it was definitely the match that should have been booked, should have been on the screen. And I guess you just want to talk about it here.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like, perfect spot for Darby. You get the ref bump. This is kind of what I had projected would be booked at All In as like a FU to the John Cena run. Which is funny that it happened here right before SummerSlam. That's essentially what this was, right? It was certainly a meta narrative of like, this is our version of pro wrestling. You can go watch their version where ref bump, BS, belt shot potentially, but then the babyface overcomes it because they're not stupid and they're actually good heroes and they win in the end in those big moments. So I enjoyed personally the meta narrative of like, if Jon Moxley's our John Cena, like that's the way to book him and the way to make him a heel, not this boring character that does nothing for you.
And I wouldn't put it past him for that being a pseudo benefit of this whole thing is that they get to do that with plausible deniability of like, no, we're not actually doing that, but really we are.
If you don't own ref bumps or belt shots, come on.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. Like, I think that Darby and Moxley in a non-title program. We'll talk about Paige in a minute here, but Darby and Moxley in a non-title program, like that works for me. Like, I think that's a good use of those guys. I mean, Darby's not in the title picture, but he's still high up the card. Moxley isn't, a baby face again right away for no reason. He's still going to work heel and still do his Death Rider thing. And, that Darby is like a perfect guy for him to feud with, especially to have the kind of matches that Mox wants to have. I mean, like
the death matches coming up between these two, it's going to be incredible. The coffin match and the Toronto death match these two are going to do I can't wait.
The coffin match is going to be insane. And like whatever kind of weird death match that they do, like I agree. So like, it's a good use of them.
His Sting's stop. He's not doing any more like in character after this year. Is that his gimmick?
That's what he says.
Yeah. So, I mean, that'd be perfect too if the Death Riders like kidnap Sting and like destroy him in front of Darby at the coffin.
Yeah, that would be, yes, that would be epic. Yeah. So like it's a good use. It's a good use of him. As for Adam Page, you got to talk about MJF and what the hell do you think? Well, you know what? Let me pause there. I'm going to set the table, and then we'll continue on this conversation in regards to Dynamite last night and AEW in general. But this is the Brass Ring Media Podcast. We're live with this show 2 times a week. This is the second time this week that we're live. As I mentioned, we did a full SummerSlam preview on Tuesday. You can check that out right now in the archives on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All live Brass Ring Media YouTube shows air as audio podcasts after the fact. So just search Brass Ring Media wherever you get your podcasts, and you'll find us there, and you'll be able to take all the live shows on the go. That includes 2 Brass Ring Media podcasts, Nocturnal Knockout on Wednesdays, and the Kick-Ash podcast on Saturdays. Robert had a scheduling issue yesterday, so we did not do Nocturnal Knockout, but he's hoping to bring something this weekend, hopefully for everybody. So stand by on that. But I see you in the chat wondering where that show was. That's where it was. Apologies. Also, we offer Brass Ring Media membership over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Brass Ring Media is how you find that. It's $4 a month. That's it, to get all of our bonus Brass Ring Media content. And that includes pay-per-view and PLE review shows, including 2 this upcoming weekend for SummerSlam. That also includes a member-only show once a week, at least, access to the Discord community, and so much more. So head over there now. Check it out. Patreon.com/Brass Ring Media is how you can find that and find out all the specifics on how you can get the full dose of Brass Ring Media stuff all throughout the week. Once again, Patreon.com/Brass Ring Media. I want to thank our gold members, Sean Palikta and Adam Kidd. Thank you guys. We appreciate the support. I have super chats enabled, so if you want to get a topic in or you want to throw some dollars in the tip jar for us and ask a question, we certainly would appreciate that. Any contribution helps. It's kind of the lifeblood of what Brass Ring Media is built on is that. So we thank you in advance for that. Otherwise, hello to everybody in the live chat. We got Maria, we got Zach and E in there, as well as some others. So thanks so much for being here, guys. Should be a fun show. All right, MJF. What the hell happened with him and the Hurt Syndicate? Like, it's so out of left field to me that like they would break up the way that they did, that it makes me think that it's like something else, like either like Lashley and MJF can't get along, or MJF decided to just blow it up. Like it just doesn't seem to me that this is where this was set to go 3 weeks ago. Am I crazy?
I don't know. It could certainly be part of the story still. I think you'll have more clarity, like if the Hurt Syndicate, helps him get that number 1 contendership match, win that, I should say. Or if that's like not a story, he loses, and then like what happens after that. Like, so I guess the week after next is really where I'm like, if they don't interact at all at that point, I guess to me it's then some sort of meta thing where there was a politicking going on, and MJF probably won that politicking, it seems, based on the usage of Axe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's very strange. Like I'm leaning towards that. I don't know. Maybe there's with Ospreay. Maybe they need to pivot, and like MJF needed to be activated. Could be part of it too.
Could be.
Where you need Paige, MJF, and Swerve as like your big 3 to build around consistently. And with Ospreay being there, MJF like stepped up and got out of the fun side thing he was doing. But I don't know. It's strange, and it's got to be pretty well earned for it to be like part of the storyline, because like screwing over Briscoe to win the title is not it. It's screwing over Paige for the title, and that seems pretty early as well, which we'll get to that when we talk about that whole situation with Briscoe and MJF.
What about the other side of that? Where could it be that, hey, we want to protect MJF, so we're going to break him up for the Hurt Syndicate, so that the Hurt Syndicate can like cost him the title against Paige? You know what I'm saying? Like ruin a cash in of some kind, or like ruin his title opportunity. So like your exact scenario, but just flip.
Yeah. I mean, that's makes sense. It's more Triple H booking, honestly. That's more like, I hate this. And like when you just decided to make this a thing with the contract, like no one told you it needed to be a cash in. It could have been whoever won this. These gauntlets got to go for the title at All Out.
Yeah, just could have had a title match.
Yeah, so I'm less inclined to think of it that way, but it could be like I messed up. Now I need a way out. Sort of booking too. So I don't know. It's strange, but it also doesn't matter a ton to me either. It was always kind of a weird grouping that didn't feel like the shelf life was long. I do like the Hurt Syndicate better without MJF, I think. Yeah. So I think it's probably for the best in the long run, and it avoids also, like, if you need MJF to be your top heel, like him getting away from them as quickly as possible is probably the right call.
Shout out to Shelton Benjamin, by the way, because I think that was like his best promo ever. last night to MJF. Like that, I was like, is that Shelton? Who's that? Shelton who? Like what? I thought
if he had done that in 06, he would have been a huge
right. Exactly. Yeah. If he does that in 06, I mean, who knows what happens? Like that was a hell of a promo. And like I was like, okay, Shelton, like get on with it, man. Like, yeah, I thought it was really good. So MJF though has all of a sudden become like a key part of big, like main storyline arcs in AEW. You know, he's got the Money in the Bank, if you want to call it that, but he's also angling for like a regular title shot, so he doesn't have to cash in that contract. And in order to get that, he's gonna have to wrestle Mark Briscoe in a main event next week and to try to win. Like all of a sudden, it went from MJF's tucked away in the Hurt Business to man, he's front and center. It could be a lot of things that led to that. Again, politicking or just, you know, the available bodies. All that is potential. We don't know. How do you grade MJF though right now as far as being a, you know, positioned as that top heel? I ask because I kind of think he's limping into this, you know, a little bit. Like he's still shedding, you know, people kind of liked him with the Hurt Syndicate, and it was kind of messy because he was kind of a babyface, but kind of not. And they didn't really know what they were. And now he's out there trying to be this dastardly heel who's going to go up against your top guy in Adam Page. So I think that's why I say limping in. Like he can do it and he's credible because he's MJF. But if you're watching every week, he didn't seem like a guy that's like clicking on all cylinders that should be wrestling in world title matches at this point.
Yeah, I would say it's a trajectory for me. Of like last night felt better than last week, which felt better than the week before on like his positioning. Like, yeah, limping in, but like it feels like he's more locked into the creative than he was last week or the week before. I think it'll just continue to feel better. And there's also lots of machinations that can occur where I would assume, I mean, he's not Page's first opponent post-title win. Obviously, it's Moxley. So that helps to get some of that narrative out of the way. But I think and we'll see what happens. I think if you hold him for down the line, not the next title shot, that helps the creative on this too, of like allowing MJF to develop more as the heel you need him to be. And also the meta of like, well, maybe he could win because, you know, if he takes him on at Forbidden Door,
yeah,
I don't think that's part of it. I think MJF knows that's like an issue. So, and you know, he's kind of still got his beef to squash with Briscoe through here and Bobby Lashley and Page. It's hard to like, same thing with a babyface. Like I don't love a heel who's like spinning 3 plates at the same time. Like he needs the focus too. So I do think like allowing that to breathe and develop, and depending how they do it, allowing him to screw over somebody that people like on his way to Page makes more sense, and that's the path I think we're on, and it'll feel better when it happens.
Yeah.
But if they do it too quickly, then yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, look, MJF's really good. So he can, I think, can catch up quick. Even if he is limping, he could turn that into a run. Like pretty darn.
And that crowd has seen a lot of MJF, right? Just think how many times have you seen MJF live? You yourself, Zach, in Chicago.
Lots.
Like 15 times, probably.
Probably more. But yeah.
So I mean, that's like a lot of times for this character in this way. And they're the smarkiest crowd per capita you're going to get is who was in that arena last night, right? There ain't nobody in that ballroom, whatever you want to call it, theater, that is not like locked into the nuances of like everything.
Right.
And you kind of need more casual people to get the MJF heel bit over a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, the crowd definitely was like you're the diehard of the diehard, right? I mean, like,
yeah,
because there's only like 900 people there, 1,000 people there, maybe.
Sweatiest of the sweats.
yes. So I think it's a good call out regarding that. What do you think of Page versus MJF? Like, I think it's good to go to something this and you kind of already alluded to this, but I think it's good to go to something as big as this for Paige, because I mean we've seen the formula in AEW so often of like, all right, you win the big match and then you face like 3 really weak challengers, and then then you go on to something else. Like, I like that this is, a big time heel that you're facing against, and yeah, maybe he's not fully primed, but I still think it's better than him taking on Roosh. Like it's just better.
Yeah. So I guess here's my question to you to get to my point. Like, do you have a 100% lock that MJF beats Briscoe next week?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Because I don't.
Okay.
I do think there's like some sort of MJF like talking about wanting to not earn it the right way instead of using the contract. I think that kind of needs stripped from him to like be full bastard heel that everybody hates. To be like to prove like he didn't earn it and he did like use this like loophole to get what he wants. So, and like, I mean, Briscoe beating Ricochet, that was like a big win, I thought, last night for him. Like, I didn't necessarily think that was going to happen. I mean, I guess it was because like, taking on MJF. But so I guess that's part of it too, of like them meeting. Like, I think if it's Paige and Briscoe at Forbidden Door is basically like not a real pay-per-view for me at this point. And then if you get to MJF and Paige at All Out, I think that's a better cadence for what this is, and makes MJF a more viable opponent too, in my opinion, from the meta and just from the storyline of why MJF is there in that moment. So
that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can definitely make the argument that MJF won't win. Yeah. I mean, and he could still. I mean, look, they could still do a thing where,
and that's where like the Hurt Syndicate could screw him over too.
Right, Hurt Syndicate. Yeah, and now I'm thinking that could actually be what happens. And then you do an MJF versus Lashley match or something at Forbidden Door, and then you could have him cash in. And then you can have him cash in that opportunity when he maybe hadn't earned it. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
But just like that feels more viable to me, and like feels better for them. And like on that too, like the match itself, I'm sure they've had a match, right? Probably like multiple matches. These two, Paige and MJF.
Yeah. Oh, they had definitely one.
But they're like, two of the guys I trust, like those two, Ospreay, Swerve, to go like an hour.
Yeah.
That feels like that could be on the table here for these two guys. So obviously the match itself, no question it's going to be good, and building it there. Like, I do think it needs more than, because Forbidden Door is August 24th and All Out's September 20th. I have that right? Yep. So it just feels like I'd rather it have like a 2-month build with like small stories in between, but they're still interacting the way they are, where it feels like a big moment where that could be like, oh man, Paige did win it in July and it is September. Like, it's not the craziest thing to do like a Jey Uso type run for Paige here, even though I don't think they will. I think it makes it more viable, because like, what's post MJF to get the big hitters for Paige? Is it Fletcher? Is it Okada? Is that the order of things? Right. If you go like Moxley, MJF, Fletcher, Okada, that's a pretty big run for your babyface champion.
And I think that, like, in addition to that, you tack on Ospreay at some point. You could do that match as a babyface, and then Swerve you can do too. Did you already say Swerve?
No, but so I was thinking like the straight like top heels of the company.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Swerve can go heel like really whenever he wants. I think people would buy it depending on what he does.
Yeah. Well, and I just think like that's a good, and it also, what also that does is it also gives like a storyline reason for like the breakup of MJF and Lashley like so fast, like, because that's still hanging out there of like, we got to tell that story like one way or the other.
And it like confirms the upper mid-card status, the Orange Cassidy status of Mark Briscoe, if you do this.
Yes.
Which is, I think, important to, like, if you have him and Cassidy, like, you could just, like, that's a tag team when Cassidy's back that, like, uber over, too. So you like to have two of those guys, Darby, like that really strong mid card situation, I think it just makes sense to do that and lock that in. And was Briscoe Ring of Honor champion at any point in this run?
He was, yeah.
He was, okay. So like that sort of stuff too. Like that just makes sense. Or the TNT title. That feels like a Briscoe opportunity.
Good. It's a good point. Good point. Anything else about the main event picture coming up? I mean, I think we covered most of it, but anything else that you want to get to?
No, not on Paige and MJF and all that. But I think it's healthy where it is. And like you said, I'm glad you brought it up. It just feels like you can already feel in this run that it's like banger after banger match, not like Roosh and whoever, not Ricochet and Hangman. That would be like the classic Tony Khan first.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Or like MJF and Paige 3 times.
Right. Yeah, you'd have a 3-month. Yeah, I mean, all those things we've seen before.
Yeah.
In
like
AEW.
Paige and Cole.
Yeah.
Or Paige and Jay White. Who did Jay White face like 1,000 times?
He faced Paige 1,000 times.
Yeah. So both those, like not those kind of stories, please.
Yeah. Let's get to a super chat here because it brings up the other topic I want to make sure we get to before we ride off into the sunset here. Zach says here, Christian's promo was too long, but I liked that he owned being an a-hole. When someone turns face, they don't need a personality transplant. Thank you, Zach. And thanks for the topic. And thanks for the support and the contribution. Appreciate you. I hated this promo. I thought this promo.
Was it the gaping hole comment? Was it?
Well, it wasn't even that. I didn't like that either. I thought that was like out of place. But I think that this was what it seemed to me in the building was that this was like a babyface promo gone bad. And I think there's some retconning going on after the fact of being like, well, no, like Zach just said, like he can't turn babyface right away. And I'm like, I think you're right. You can't, but I think he tried to. I think he tried to.
You also got 7 weeks to make him a babyface. So
yeah, you're on the clock, man. And I think you tried to do it, and he tried to get some sympathy, and he tried to say mean things about the heels that turned on him and Nick Wayne's mom. Like he tried a lot to get the fans to like cheer him. I mean, even the line about Nick Wayne's mom, like that's there not to be an asshole. That's there to get the crowd on your side and laughing, for better or worse. Like that's why that's there. I just thought it was all really misguided. Like I think they underestimated how much people really have come to hate Christian as a character, and how unlikable like he really is as a babyface. And you add into that the way this all played out with the heels that Christian was running down for months and months, turning on him and getting their own comeuppance at All In, and somehow they're the bad guys now. Like this whole thing is a mess to me, man. And one last thing, I thought Christian was like, you never see that guy like lost on promos or like meandering on promos. He was out there for like 10 minutes. And I think like 7 of those minutes were just, he was lost. Like he seemed like in a daze. He couldn't control the crowd. He was getting heckled and then like playing to those heckles. And then when he lost his place in the promo near the end, he made up heckles so that he could find himself again. Like this was like, if you thought Lyra Valkyria was bad on Monday, this was just as bad, if not worse. Take it away.
Yeah. All right. So you know who I blame for this whole thing?
Cope.
Adam Copeland.
Oh my God.
Him and Christian should be heels. This works so much better.
Yes.
Like Cope and Christian are just natural heels in AEW in 2025. Like they should be here. They should be taking spots away from young teams as like a gimmick. They should be like main event mafia
Yeah.
on purpose.
On purpose, right? Not on accident, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which what they are right now. The second thing that is a problem here is just, Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian are just two characters that don't matter at all in the narrative. Like Nick Wayne's mom is more impactful than either of those two guys. So you also have him going against essentially Leo Rush and Action Andretti. Is like but they're on TV more. Kip Sabian. I've been on this bandwagon since 2019. I don't know what he did for Tony Khan or Tony Khan, dirt he has on Tony Khan. Like the fact that guy's gone wire to wire in this company so far is insane to me. But like just having those two be your foils to get over is like insane. And they needed to be replaced immediately. They needed to like have FTR be screwing over Christian as the main focal point, not the Patriot, not Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. That should have been in that moment, and then they all moved on.
Yeah.
And you get to, I know you're into FTR and Cope and Christian at All Out, but like, or another heel group that you have ready is what Christian needs to be working on, but not this. So there's like everything you said is correct, and also that like who you're paired with just is so uncompelling. It's just the Outrunners, right? Like they should be heels and taking out the Outrunners right now in this moment.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
This is why when we advocated for the Edge and Christian reunion that you knew Tony Khan was going to want to do, you do it right away, the beginning. So
while they're still likable.
Yes, while they're still likable and while people still care, because look, you're gonna reunite these guys. And look, to your point, you got 7 weeks or less than that, right? Wait, when's Forbidden Door? Oh no, All Out's in
yeah.
Okay, so you 7 weeks, and it's gonna fall flat if everybody hates Christian or everybody hates Cope. Like, I don't know. Go ahead.
That crowd might cheer for FTR.
Yes, in Toronto, and that's
like you might have to do like the Hogan double turn, like Edge or we can see who's there for what WrestleMania 9, 7. Where's the one that he was at that he always talks about?
7, 6.
6. Okay,
6.
Yeah, you might be that kid in the crowd who like. Anyway, like here's like just even on like the whiteboard, like you have Christian as a heel, Christian as a face, Cope as a face, Cope as a heel. What's the most potent, powerful character of those 4 if you had to rank them? What's the best character of those 4?
Cope as a heel, Cope as a babyface, Christian as a heel, Christian as a babyface?
Yeah. What's the best character in AEW of those 4?
Christian as a heel.
Correct.
Yeah.
What's the second best character in that?
Cope as a heel.
Okay, great. What's the third?
Cope as a babyface.
Agreed. And then Christian as a babyface is 4th.
Right, is 4th.
Okay. So yes, we're in total lockstep agreement on that ranking. And instead of doing the 1 and 2, we're doing the 3 and 4. And then you're pairing them with one of the worst acts in the company. So that's why it's not working for anyone that wants to get like Randy on that.
And like, do you think it would work better if you just weren't gonna, if you weren't, no, you're already saying it. I don't even need to ask this question because like what I'm getting at is I think it would be better for like the Nick Wayne versus Christian Cage feud if Nick Wayne was a babyface. Like if he was finally the young kid who like, whatever, fights Christian because Christian's like mean to him, right? Whatever. I'm dumbing that down, obviously. Mm-hmm. But you get what I'm saying. Like that's the play. But because they've got this, it has to be Edge and Christian as baby faces. Literally everything else around this feud just gets messed up.
Yeah, you are Alex Riley-ing Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne, yeah.
Story where it's like you have him. I know it's a relatively deep cut, but remember the Alex Riley story. His whole existence was to be Miz's lapdog, turn on him, beat him, and then disappear, which is basically his arc. and then he went
That's
like did NXT for a second as a commentator, I think. Hey, great entrance music though, but that's what like you don't want to do here. Like it should have been whatever Edge and Christian are like Christian, like he's tired of Christian abusing his mom, and then Nick Wayne defends his mom. Like how is that? That's like the most over babyface turn of all time. Like everyone gets that.
Everyone can resonate with that.
Yes. So that, and then that's just like because like after this, like they're losing to Edge and Christian, Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. If they even have a match, let's hope they don't. Let's hope that's a collision main event. Not a forbidden door.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. We're not thinking like, but to your point though, they have even less time to turn Christian now because if they're gonna do that tag match, Edge and Christian against Sabian and Wayne, I mean, you have to do that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, or you can do like Nick Wayne and Christian, where Sabian like cheats and then Edge evens the odds. If you don't want to make
you could do that
because you probably want the first tag match to be FTR and them. But
you could do that. Yeah,
but it doesn't matter. Like, what is Nick Wayne doing after that? I mean, I don't care what Kip Sabian's doing after that. But he's probably buying and selling real estate in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Just like just no regard for him in that act for that 20-year-old that you've labeled the prodigy, which is always a kiss of death anyway. I would never advocate anyone who's under the age of 35 to have like a moniker like that. It never works.
Say no.
Billy Starks, I don't think is the prodigy tag, so that's good for her long run.
Yeah.
Amongst many other things that are not working for her and her character right now, but it's just like very selfish, very like can't wait for Nick Wayne to be on a podcast like this one in 5 years and talk about how Edge and Christian ruined his career. So that's what it feels like.
Derek Mitchell brings up a good point in the chat. It says here, is there a hankering to even see Cope and Christian together again? In 2025, we're getting Cope and Christian possibly reuniting and the Dudleys versus the Hardys one last time. Man, I'm with him on this. Like, I think that you lost your moment on that. I think you do it. You do that when you jump in, and that's that. Quickly, you get to it, you get out, and that's it. Like make sure that you get that done at the peak. Like Christian's happy that Edge is there, and if you want to feud him, then feud him after that, right? I mean, you can still do all the same things, but now it just takes too much effort and bad content to get to this, and it's I don't think it's worth it. It's not like you're going to sell 25,000 seats for All Out because Edge and Christian are reuniting. It's just I just don't think that's not where they are. It's not. Yeah. It's not that.
I do think for Tony Khan, I think like Adam Copeland is like the last person he hires that he like idolized as a kid, because like him, like the deference he has for these types of guys. Punk obviously burned him way harder.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like he can tell, like you can just tell, like when he's the way he books people, he can tell like Swerve, Will Ospreay, Page, MJF, like, hey, we're doing this, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
With Page and Christian, Punk when he was there, those sort of guys, he doesn't have that ability as much,
right,
to manage the talent.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like he just doesn't. He's already doesn't want to be confrontational. We know that about him as like a leader at this point, but with guys like Jericho or guys like Cope who are
Jericho too,
yeah, like that. I think you're right on the money with that. And like, luckily, I don't know how many more guys there are left that fall into that category for him, but I wouldn't put it past him to be like, all right, if I could get, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another name.
Yeah, like Danielson is a good guy, so he didn't abuse it, but Danielson definitely could be.
Danielson would fall in that category. Yep. Yeah.
Like everyone pre-Shield guys, basically, I think falls in that category.
Yeah. Because I was going to be like, what if Seth comes over? Like AJ, maybe AJ if he can.
Maybe AJ, yeah. But I think AJ would probably – he doesn't have that – it's just weird. He doesn't have that level of clout, I don't think, to, like, put it.
Yeah. And I think he's more Danielson, like, personality-wise, too, than like, Jericho, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if there would be anybody. I mean, if he, like, loved Goldberg back in the day, that'd be a bad combination. But thankfully he didn't, I don't think.
I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't happen. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. It was a shorter show to go through because you had the really long main event yesterday with the title match main event, which we got to. So thank you, everybody, for joining the show. Thanks so much, Zach, for our super chat. Thank you to our Brass Ring Media Gold members, Sean Palikta and Adam Kidd. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you check us out over on Patreon, patreon.com/Brass Ring Media. We have all of our membership options there, and you want to become a member this weekend for all of our SummerSlam coverage. So do not miss out on that. Once again, patreon.com/Brass Ring Media. Thank you to everybody who tuned in live today. Tyler, final words.
Really don't have any. I don't know if we ranked. Summer. I think we did. We said Saturday's better than Sunday.
We said Saturday's better than Sunday, yeah.
I wonder, like, have they announced SummerSlam next year yet?
Yes.
It's 2 days.
2 days in Minneapolis, yeah.
Minneapolis. I was at the Mea Copa for.
That's the Mea Copa for WrestleMania.
Man, yikes! I guess New Orleans is going to get SummerSlam the next year after.
Yeah.
Instead of getting WrestleMania. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know, man. It feels like probably a 2-day WrestleMania. Feels like it's in perpetuity.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. I don't know about these 2-day SummerSlams. We'll see.
Unfortunately.
I mean, 3-day Wrestle Kingdom was insane. Remember that?
So, and that wasn't good either.
No.
That was
like I guess like I feel it too, of like too much of a good thing. A little bit of like eating a whole bag of gummy worms, and then you feel like, man, why do I feel like the worst I've ever felt? Oh yeah, I had like 2,000 calories of pure sugar.
Yeah,
that's what this kind of feels like to me. And it's not even like that good of gummy worms, if I'm being honest with you. It's this
and the thing is, you know what's coming. I mean, you know a 2-night Royal Rumble is coming. I mean, that makes more sense than a 2-night SummerSlam.
You have a women main event and a men's main event each night. Yeah, for
right. Sure. So I mean, that's coming, and now you've got all your big four. I mean, you could do the same thing with Money in the Bank. You know,
or Survivor Series. Probably Money in the Bank would be the first one to do it.
Oh, but Survivor Series too. If you do 2 War Games, I mean, it's just the thing is, people are gonna have to stop buying tickets to these things for them to stop doing it. You know, because no matter what, they're gonna have 100,000 people through the turnstiles this weekend in New York. So, what do you say? I mean, I think that there's a balance there that you can be responsible for if you're like TKO, but clearly they don't think that.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's like killing the town.
Yeah,
to the times the 100th exponent.
Yes,
is what I'm concerned about here. But we'll see.
We'll see. We'll talk about it this weekend. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday evening, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Don't forget the Kick Ass podcast on Saturday morning right here to get you ready for SummerSlam. See ya.